right. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Nice to see you again. Well, thank you for having me out. I've come and shared here during council meetings, but it's been a little while and we're ever changing. We're just up the road from you. We're on Saxony Road. I know you've been there. Jesse, are there others that have been there? It's sometimes kind of helpful to know you've been to us. Awesome. And you as well. Lovely. Just nice to know. And I don't know how you typically conduct, but I'm typically a very casual presenter, so I'm very happy to be interrupted rather than speak to sort of like a super silent room, but leaving questions at the end is fine as well. So I'm sure, as in the roles that you're all holding, super familiar with Encinitas, of course, including the history of this land. So this property that Coastal Roots Farm is on is a greater property called Leechtag Commons. It was purchased by the Leechtag Foundation about 11 years ago. You may know this already. It was formerly Eki Ranch, almost 1,000 acres of poinsettia farm, considered the flower growing capital of the world. When the Leechtag Foundation purchased the property, they incubated Coastal Roots Farm as a program of theirs, and then we became an independent 501c3 nonprofit about a year later, and next year is our 10-year anniversary. So we're coming up against a pretty big benchmark for our own selves. Of course, we recognize this land as indigenous to the Kumeyaay and Liseño peoples, and there are a lot of people who are, and histories and cultures who are embedded in the agricultural work that we're doing there, so we're very grateful to be there. The Leechtag Foundation, you probably know this as well, but they're a sunsetting foundation. In those early days, they funded 100% of our budget, and by design, that grant has decreased and decreased, and that's been a big part of my role, and the rest of the fundraising team and our president and CEO has been establishing that independence and ensuring our own sustainability. We're very grateful to receive our rent in kind, and that continues to be a very meaningful way to ensure that we can continue doing the great work that we're doing, and I'm excited to share it with you today. So here's just a kind of cartoony map. So if you haven't been there, the whole property there that's called Leechtag Commons is about 67 acres, and Coastal Roots Farm is in these 3 distinct spaces. So the ones that are sort of marked in that peach color, those are the ones. So if you have been to the farm, maybe you've shopped at the farm stand or come to an event, the likelihood is that you've been in that sort of lower left-hand corner. If you haven't come and seen the Food Forest, we do an annual Food Forest Festival, and lots of our programming does take place up there. It's, as you can see, the largest part of Coastal Roots Farm, and it's sort of the pinnacle of regenerative agriculture, which is sort of the crux of what we're doing. So I'll just put an invite out there now. If you haven't been or you have been and would like to come for a formal tour, would absolutely love to have you. So this is our tagline, Nourishing Community, and the way that we're oriented toward this idea of nourishing community is about more than just food. We know that we can nourish our bodies with healthy food, but we also know that safe spaces and accessible spaces and opportunities to learn and connect, like all of these, like what makes us feel fulfilled and nourished as people is pretty wraparound, and so we engage in a couple of those areas, which I'll tell you about now. So what you're seeing here are our 4 impact initiatives, and I'll walk you through them. That pink circle there, that one on the top, regenerative agriculture, basically refers to the way that we farm our land. So, of course, you know organic, you have heard the term sustainable, you've heard GMO-free, or all the terms that are sort of floating around in our ag industry. Regenerative agriculture is sort of the buzzword du jour, and what it basically means is that you're caring for the foundation first and foremost, that the soil and the fertility of the soil to build the fertility is not only important for our climate and the climate outcomes, drawing carbon out of the atmosphere, et cetera, but it also produces healthy food. So through that initiative, we grow about 80,000 pounds of food in the year. I can go back to the map for a second here. When in the early days of the farm, that food forest was not a fertile space. And so if you had asked me, say, 4 or 5 years ago, how many pounds of food are you growing, I would have told you 40,000 pounds. And then this food forest area came online, as we like to say. The team was building the fertility of that space for the first couple of years of the farm's existence, and we've now doubled the amount of food that we're growing. That's not the trajectory. We'll probably cap out the way that we're farming at, say, 100,000 pounds or so, but we're really proud of that growth. And that growth also coincided with the beginning of COVID, which, as we all like to forget, but is fresh in many of our memories, the hunger and the need for fresh food was one of those really important pieces there. So that's regenerative agriculture. If you move left to equitable food access, where's the food going? So we feed 45,000 people, essentially, with these 80,000 pounds of food a year. We have a pay what you can farm stand on the property. I'm realizing now the importance of saying pay what you can if you can. The reason that I've sort of adjusted that, and I'm going to, I think, change my storytelling about that, is because there are people who ask us, well, I can afford, I'm so lucky to be able to afford this food. Am I taking it away from people who come to the farm stand and need that food? And the answer is no. The balance is critical for the farm. It's an important revenue stream for us. But 2/3 of our customers are utilizing the pay what you can option. Prior to COVID, by the way, it was about 1/3. So that need has increased and has since never gone away. But essentially, actually, I'll wait for that slide. So big high-level statistic there, 45,000 people. Then the one in yellow there, environmental education. I like to say from pre-K to gray. It's my favorite explanation. Just basically means kids and adults of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all abilities are coming to the farm for programs, and you'll see a snapshot of what those are. Most relevant as I stand here today is our farm camp program, because in the summer we reach 700 youth, including my 2 daughters who are there and absolutely filthy. We're not usually an everyday bath kind of family, but we are an everyday bath family during summer camp. And so the high-level statistic there is that we're reaching 10,000 youth a year, including about half who come on scholarship. I can share more about that if you're interested. And then Jewish Life. So the Leach-Tag Foundation, Jewish Foundation, founded the farm as a Jewish community farm. We're not the only one, by the way. Some people are really surprised to find that out. There's a bit of a movement in this country that connects eco themes with Jewish themes. So we're not a religious space per se, but we do integrate Jewish values, and you're seeing the ones that we've selected as organizational values around our initiatives here and the way those play out. So just for fun, I'll share my most favorite one, the linguistic tie-in of Adam ve'adama, the one that's aligned with regenerative ag. Adam, the translation in Hebrew is humanity or man. Adama, the translation is land or the earth. So our kind of interpretation of that is that there's an interdependence and a reliance between humans and their natural environment. So just to give you a little taste of how those Jewish values play out, our team is quite diverse. The people that we're reaching are quite diverse. It's always nice to say that because we want to make sure that people know that they are not only welcome but wanted, and we do reach quite a variety of folks coming to the farm. So I personally have no ag background, although I've been there 6 years, so maybe I should stop saying that, but I don't come from a farming background like much of the team. And so much of my learning was done in this role, and the farmers have really opened my mind. Like I kind of call myself a convert. Like really for me, the pinnacle of the work personally is where ag meets climate. I think that's, we all know, is like such an important issue of today and for our lifetimes. And so this is like sort of a context setting that really moved me and that I often like to share. So you're seeing here on this infographic, there's a lot to unpack, but I call out this part of food miles here. And the definition of food miles is how far food travels from where it's growing to where you're purchasing it or consuming it. So kind of fun fact, in the United States, food travels between 1,500 and 2,500 miles. Which is a lot. And so when I give tours, I often ask folks, what do you think is the problem with that? And they might say, oh, a lot of carbon emissions are produced along the way, or but there's a farm right nearby. Why can't I get my, tomatoes from there? I buy it at the store and it says that it's from Guatemala, whatever it may be. It's confusing. Like our food system is really inefficient and broken. A lot of the hunger in this country are of folks working in the food system, so that irony I find pretty painful. But the reason that I like to highlight it for the sake of the presentation is that when food has to travel so far, it's picked before it's fully ripe, so that it doesn't rot along the way, right? That means it doesn't reach its peak flavor and it doesn't reach its peak nutrition. So the reason that I highlighted, I already told you that we feed 45,000 people in the year. That's really meaningful, and we know it's finite. 1 in 4 in San Diego are considered food insecure. So when we say we feed 45,000 people, I mean, it's incredibly meaningful, and we know, like, kind of to humble us, it doesn't scratch the surface of what the need is, but what we can say is that the people that we're feeding are receiving the most nutrient-dense food that one could consume. They're eating it on the day of harvest in most cases. So just to dive a little bit more into those separate initiatives, I already mentioned regenerative ag. This is just giving you a taste of what the farm looks like. We have chickens, of course, so 80,000 pounds of food a year. And then here are some of the tenets, basically, of regenerative agriculture. I like to say that it's both a philosophy and a methodology. So the philosophy really has to do with how we're relating to our natural environment. So here are some of those tenets: that we're farming in harmony with nature, and there's an emphasis on soil fertility, and there are climate benefits, and we know that we're not better than the land, we rely on it, and we need to feed it back, right? All of these sort of things. But then there's the methodology here, which you're seeing on this slide. Apologies for the funky formatting there. But what you're seeing in the inner circle here is the big picture, right? That we're balancing taking from the soil by giving back to the soil. So I could sort of go on and on about what those examples are. I'll just give you one for a little taste. One of the primary sort of things that we do is we plant a cover crop, and its purpose is to return nutrients to the soil, kind of to balance out what we've just taken from it, right? So it follows this whole cycle. The reason we have chickens on the farm, if you asked a farm camper, why do you think we have chickens? They would tell you, oh, the eggs, on the first day of farm camp. If you ask them on day 5, they'll tell you, well, because they fertilize the soil, because they help with pest management, because et cetera, et cetera. So that's the key, actually. And having animals, pasture animals, is one of those telltale signs of regenerative ag, and that's the way that we're practicing there. So organic food distribution, 45,000 people a year. I need to update these numbers. Overall, since our inception, we've donated more than 70%. Last year it was 83%, so the need was higher than ever. That is meaningful. The impact is meaningful. It, of course, poses a fundraising challenge. It's so much of the work that I'm focused on to make up the difference, to ensure that we can meet that need. But you're seeing here who our primary populations are. So we go off-site basically 5 days a week, and we deliver our food in addition to the farm stand, which is open 2 days a week. That's where the general public can access our food. We invite you all to do that, and everybody in the room. And the rest of the food that we donate off-site is a completely free distribution. So, for example, we go to Vista Community Clinic up there once a month, and we deliver there. And we go to Holocaust survivors directly to their homes once a week. So there's all these different partnerships. All of them happen sort of in collaboration with existing entities. So, for example, the Holocaust Survivor Program is in partnership with Jewish Family Service. They sort of have this case management approach, and they pair us, and then, so you sort of get the idea. But we're reaching low-income military families, just off-base through a partnership with Helping Hand Worldwide. So you're getting the idea. We're trying to just put the food where the need is the highest. I mentioned the Pay What You Can farm stand. So this just gives you a taste. Some of our favorite crops in the summer, usually that's the most fun time to come and shop. But if you come one week and then you come the next week, what you're seeing there might be different. Like I said, it just really depends what was harvested that morning. So it's kind of a cool experience. And just a little anecdote, because my kids are learning about this, I was one time with them in Costco, like in the middle of winter, and there were watermelons there, because in this country you can get whatever you want year-round. And so my daughter asked me, why aren't we getting a watermelon? I said, it's not going to be as good as it'll be in the summer. Let's just wait until it's like watermelon season. And of course at Costco you can get like a 700 pack of whatever you want. So somebody walks by with their cart and watermelon. She's like, why do they have watermelons? It's not going to be good. So anyway, trying to balance that judgment to how to best support our planet and also recognize the food system that we live in. Okay, so here are our education programs. This year, our projected reach is 10,200 youth. 50% come on scholarship. The majority of that scholarship is in our field trip program. So a big part of our fundraising efforts, we do, by the way, offset not only program fees, but transportation costs. So we don't turn groups or families or school groups or whatever away for inability to pay. They would come and they would put in a request, and we would even reimburse them for their bus. So that's been a really interesting effort. In that same, I wonder if I have this chart. I do, so I'll save that. But here's a little snapshot of our programs. This is just on our website. But Nature Play is open 3 days a week for our youngest friends. We have an after-school program, a farm camp I mentioned, field trips, farm tours, birthday parties, internships, and so on and so on. So lots of opportunities to plug in. And this is just a fun snapshot of the growth of the education program. So you're seeing the last 5 years, soon finishing out our fiscal year 24, but the programs have dramatically increased. Before that fiscal year 19, the education programs didn't exist. Our president and CEO comes from a museum background, and so that was a big part, I think, of his genius, really, is sort of the education and visitor experience. And the need is dramatic. Like, we have booked out our field trips, and continuing through the summer, and simultaneous programs, and the team has really grown. So it's been a really fun thing to watch. And again, trying to analyze within our team where that sweet spot is to ensure that we can maintain the high quality that we're so proud of. We actually, county-wide, are one of the largest environmental education programs, period. We have 7 full-time educators, and that's sort of unheard of, even at the big museums and all the places you're familiar with in the county. and then Jewish Life. So you're getting a little snapshot here of our community events. They're intergenerational, and they're hands-on, and they align with Jewish holidays at times. We have these beautiful farm-to-table dinners, opportunities to put your hands in the soil, and on and on and on. So I encourage you to peek on our website. And then this is just a snapshot of our impact since inception. So we've grown more than 500,000 pounds of food for more than 300,000 people, have donated 72% of our harvests. This is aggregated data from the whole time. We've diverted more than 6 million pounds of waste from the landfill. We have a compost operation. I didn't touch on that. Have reached nearly 40,000 youth and nearly 85,000 across programs in general. And these are just a couple of fun invitations. They're sort of never-ending, but these are really great ones coming up. So this Thursday is the next event of our Farm, Film, and Music series. It's the second of the year, 5 in total. At the end of the month, we have a live performance festival called the Regenerate Eco Performance Fest, where we're bringing in artists from across the country, and they're engaging with themes related to sort of Jewish tradition and eco themes and climate anxiety and so on and so forth. And then the farm-to-table dinners are also part of a series. Those are fundraising events for the farm. So it's a higher ticket price, and it brings in, it's like sort of instead of a gala, you know, we do 60 people maximum, and we do 5 of them, and they're beautiful. So would really encourage you if you want to attend one of those. And that's what I got.
Thank you. Commissioners and audience, do we have any questions for Kesha today?
This is Commissioner Angel. Kesha, thank you so much. I love Coastal Roots Farm. I saw my neighbor in one of your slides.
Yay.
He's a regular. I'm a member of Temple Solel, and I know that we have a lot of collaborative programs that go on there for many of the Jewish holidays throughout the year. And this is really such a wonderful and heartwarming environmental and consciousness-raising, engaging opportunity for the entire community. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And this is Commissioner Hanwitt. Keisha, it's nice to see you again. And I just want to agree with Mona and say that when I hear about your programs and your values, it just makes me happy. I had gone to the Pay What You Can farm stand a few times, but I just wanted to share that I had the opportunity on Mother's Day, because I have a good son, to go to the farm-to-table dinner that they had. And if you want to learn more about Coastal Root Farms and you're hungry, it's a beautiful way to go. The setting is beautiful. You learn all about where the food came from, what you're eating, and how it's grown, and it's a wonderful thing. So thank you.
Thank you. It was so fun to have you there.
Kesha, Commissioner Ling, I have a question for you. Have you done or do you do educational programs for seniors?
Absolutely. So we, for the first many years of the farm's existence, we really focused on young families. But in the last couple of years, we've really increased that adult education, workshops, and sometimes we do senior-specific things or specifically intergenerational things. I will say one of the areas that we're really working on is our physical accessibility. So, for example, we got a really generous grant from one of our corporate partners who are helping us do this. We've put in some new paths and some, we have a golf cart to assist people to get through the property, but it just, especially knowing what y'all are doing here and the population that you're serving, just important to note that it's something that we need to improve. We have some mixed terrain, as you can imagine. So sometimes seniors need to step over gravel or whatever it may be. So we try to be really clear about that depending on the event and where it's taking place. But opportunities are ample. It's just a challenge I wanted to name so that you all can pass on accurate information.
Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Sounds good.
Any other questions? Commissioner Gaber?
You can use Martin, it's fine.
Go ahead.
Commissioner Martin, I wanted to compliment you on the excellent presentation, and I'm a big metric guy, so you got my heart. I mean, big metric.
Oh, yeah.
At the county, we just. I also wanted to make a couple of comments, if that's appropriate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Faith-based organizations are prevalent in the federal government, especially, I know the Veterans Administration very well. And I've done a lot of thinking about it. And as you said, spiritual, not religious, that's the dividing point. Because as you know, in our Constitution, we still have separation of church and state. And the other comment is, somewhere I ran into the event thing, maybe it was on North Coastal News, or if you have, I don't know. And I said, this place looks good, I'm going to check it out, and I will.
Awesome.
One other comment, Nita Gelson, there's an outfit that does gleaning, right?
Yes,
Okay,
produce goods. So
perfect.
on the property, Coastal Roots is just sort of a tenant on the property, essentially. But there's a
Nita's
co-working
a
space.
tenant? That's great. Excuse me, I
So
didn't mean to
there's a
interrupt.
co-working space on the property called The Hive that's under the auspices of the Leach-Tag Foundation, or maybe Impact Cube. They have some different identities, but it's Produce Good that you're referring to, the organization?
They do gleaning, I forgot the name.
That's their, in Orange, right?
Nita is the director.
She's wonderful, and she works out of the same offices. So we do collaborate at
She has
times.
had my vote for years. Thank you for the responses. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay, any other questions from the commissioners? Any from the audience? We're good? Oh. For the presenter, you can ask questions.
Well, I'd like to say thank you for all you do. I have been to some of the events at Coastal Roots.
Wonderful.
And I do go to the farm stand. It's wonderful what you do for the community.
Thank you.
So I'd just like to say thank you.
Thank you so much. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you again for coming out to speak with us.
Okay, my pleasure. Take care.
Okay, that brings us to agenda item 5, oral communications. Do we have any speakers today?
Yes, for oral communications, we have one speaker, Christine Schindler. She's with the San Diego County Bike Coalition, and she's here to speak about a league cycling instructor for a special 55-plus community cycling program. And as a reminder, you have 3 minutes to address the commission.
Very good. So Christine Schindler, East Encinitas resident. So actually Commissioner Karen asked that I come here and talk about this special program that we're doing. But I just want to say, I come to mobility, I come to city council, I always talk about bike riding. It's so much more than just riding a bike. I mean, it goes beyond that. It's health, it's connecting to your community, it's environmental stewardship, it's social responsibility, it's fun. But I think for older age group, it's also pushing back on dementia, Parkinson's, arthritis. There's so many good reasons to ride a bike. So it's so much more than riding a bike. So you guys all got this flyer. You've probably seen it. We've been pushing it out a lot on social media. So it's a very special program that hasn't existed before now. It's being hosted by the City of Encinitas, so thank you, City of Encinitas. It's considered a pilot. It's funded by Scripps Health. It's from their trauma department and their injury prevention department because they're concerned about older bike riders that are having solo falls, getting in crashes, having brain injury, having other trauma. Our city cycling classes, which have been happening in Encinitas for years now, every third and fourth Saturday, have been filled up with young riders and parents, which is wonderful. But then if we have anyone else show up, they're basically taking the class with a bunch of teenagers. And we've had plenty of people that have done that. One of our council members did that. But it kind of convinced us that maybe we should be looking at doing a special course. So we had a webinar on Thursday. It was well attended. It was successful. Mona was with us. Commissioner Mona was with us. Commissioner Karen as well. So thank you. And now we're going to have the in-person class on Saturday. We need help. We want this to be successful. At this point, we're Tuesday ahead of Saturday. We would be full with a waiting list. We have 4 people coming, 4 people that I asked. We've been doing so much outreach. I'm just baffled. I don't know. So think of 3 friends, staff members, council members, other commissioners, whoever, strangers on the street, and just ask them, tell them about the opportunity, ask them to take advantage of it. It's free for City of Encinitas residents. You have to fork out $10 because that helps with us not having so many no-shows. But then you get a full refund minus a little administration fee. It's $25 for non-residents, but it's totally worth it. It's 3 hours. It's an hour of talk, an hour of parking lot drills, and an hour doing a community bike ride together. So we want it to be successful and then roll out across the county. And we can say, here, we did it in Encinitas first. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, we are at agenda item 6, changes to the agenda. Are there any changes to today's agenda?
No, there are no changes to the agenda.
Okay, agenda item 7, approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the May 21st, 2024 meeting minutes?
This is Commissioner Hanwick. I make a motion to approve the May 21st, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Commissioner Hanwood has made a motion to approve. Do I hear a second to this
This is
motion?
Commissioner Angel, and I'll make a second to approve the minutes.
Commissioner Angel has seconded the motion. So let's vote.
Point of. I think I'm the one that's not working.
Okay. Oh, okay, let me fix that.
Yeah, Martin is fine, by the way. Yeah,
We'll do it right.
it's okay.
There we go.
Let's do the motion one more time.
Okay. So we'll start over with agenda item 7. Do I hear a motion to approve the May 21st, 2024 minutes?
This is Commissioner Hanwitt. I make a motion to approve the May 21st, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Commissioner Hanwood has made the motion. Do I hear a second?
This is Commissioner Angel, and I make a motion that we second the minutes.
Commissioner Angel seconds. Let's do that touchscreen vote again.
Information, can I vote verbally? Can I just vote, can I just vote verbally? Yay.
Okay.
Let the record show that the motion passes with all commissioners voting yes, except Commissioner Martin, who is absent.
Okay, very good. That takes us to agenda item 8, action items, 8A, Senior Citizen Commission Annual Work Plan, and we'll kind of walk our way through the work plan and get some updates from everybody. So here's work plan item 1, attend city-hosted events and programs and city-partnered events serving as city ambassadors or volunteers. Any updates?
Does that mean whether we, any of us attended or?
Okay,
I did attend the city council meeting when we made that proclamation.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Commissioner Koblenz, I just wanted to, again, respond to the online e-bike. I think it's wonderful. I'll go out and tell more and more people. I did get the opportunity, and I was very pleased to finish the academy, and I got my certificate. And let's see, what else? I think that's all for now.
This is Commissioner Angel. I've also completed the Encinitas Academy. It was an incredibly insightful and fulfilling opportunity. And I'm also going to be participating this Saturday in the 55-plus bike and e-bike safety class that Christine Schindler just spoke with us about, as well as attending to the webinar that she just mentioned.
Anyone else? This is Commissioner Ling. I've done my normal thing. I'm a volunteer at the Community and Senior Center. I am a tutor at the computer lab, and I'm also the greeter at the Oakcrest Cafe Senior Lunch. Work plan item 2, identify guest speakers for monthly meetings to provide education regarding topics related to the work plan goals and adults 50+, and find platforms to disseminate the information to adults 50+. First, I want to say thank you to everybody involved for scheduling our speakers so far in advance that we can actually market and promote these speakers. I think that's a big, big improvement for what we had before. Do we have any updates?
This is Commissioner Hanwood. I don't have any updates about future speakers, but I would like to say that these are such worthwhile experiences for us to be able to listen to different programs that are going on within the city. And I have contacted Jessica, whose last name I cannot remember, from Scripps, who talked to us last month about being aware of the symptoms for having a stroke. And she's going to be attending a Village Encinitas meeting in September to talk to the people in the village.
Okay. Let's move on to work plan item 3.
Point of order.
Oh,
I requested to speak, but it's not working, maybe?
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you.
You just need to ask.
Thank you, Chairman.
As a result of being on the list of connected community veterans by the White House, which is really crazy when I got appointed to that, and I go to FEMA things as invited. One of the things that came up is that when you have one has a disaster, which no one can guarantee the place isn't shaken the next minute. Everybody runs around and, try to figure out how do we do this, how it is. It was suggested by FEMA, and we have here at the county, to somehow communicate to the population, and I think especially seniors, how do you get aid before the disaster hits?
Okay, so,
I'm just suggesting that might be a speaker in the future.
okay,
Thank you.
noted, thank you. Work plan item 3, continue partnership with the Encinitas Rotary Club and explore other Encinitas Service Club collaborations to recognize or promote the Senior Citizen Service Award. Any updates?
This is Commissioner Angel. So we did have the luncheon to recognize the annual Senior Citizen Service Award recipient. That went very well. And the ad hoc committee will be meeting in the coming months to make any revisions and look at best practices moving forward.
Thank you. Work plan item 4, create new and sustaining ongoing intergenerational programming in collaboration with the Encinitas Youth Commission. So we did have a meeting with staff to get some ideas about what the prerequisites were in terms of just even getting started with the collaborating with the Boys and Girls Club, for example. So I think we came away with some good ideas, and we have a good starting point to work with. So we'll start engaging shortly. Any other changes or updates? No? Okay. And I plan on actually making an appearance at the Youth Commission, which the meeting got postponed until this afternoon. I wanted to thank them for their engagement with the community and for collaborating with the seniors, particularly for activities like Techie Tutors.
Mr. Chairman, is there a way that these events are routinely distributed to commissioners, giving us notice, there's a Rotary thing, and there's that?
You have to just come to these meetings. Yeah, they're all regularly scheduled.
Thank you.
Some of them, the expectation is not that all commissioners attend some of these things. Usually it's just the ad hoc groups, and we try to limit it to the ad hoc group of 3. I think that's a Brown Act thing, so we have to be careful about that.
Oh, we can't have 2 or 3. I got that. I got it.
Okay, all right, moving on. Here we go. Explore a gardening partnership with the Encinitas Boys and Girls Club and gardening classes, educational workshop offerings. So I just talked about that. I spoke out of turn. Any other Comments? Work plan item 6, support staff in creating, promoting, and sustaining new and ongoing programs for adults 50+ at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center, Encinitas Parks, and/or San Diego County Libraries in Encinitas. Any updates?
Commissioner Koblenz, ad hoc met, and we are still and very excited about some other programs. We have not been able to actually formalize them yet, but we've also noticed, thank you to staff, a wonderful growth, not only in the Oakcrest Cafe, but in some of the other programs. So thank you, staff, and all those that continue to work for it. And so we're excited come September. I think we'll have a few things to play with.
Okay, that's very exciting. Work plan item 7, leverage participation in Age Well San Diego 2.0 and AARP conversations to make recommendations that can directly affect the adult 50+ community in Encinitas. Any updates?
This is Commissioner Hanwett. I did have an opportunity last week to meet with Councilmember Bruce Ehlers, with Israel Hernandez from the AARP, just to give him some information about livable communities and how it could benefit the city of Encinitas. And he had some ideas. He certainly was not opposed to the idea. He felt that the Senior Commission should take more of an active part. So the ad hoc can look at that down the road. And our next step with Israel Hernandez is to speak with the mayor and the deputy mayor and Councilmember Hines. So we are hoping that will happen in the very near future.
Commissioner, Chairman? I was approached offline by an AARP individual, and I explained to him I don't want to discuss this further. It's a violation of the Brown Act.
Point of information. If that happens, again, you can always convene, try to convene the ad hoc group. Right? That's perfectly okay. So that group can meet separately from the full commission meeting to discuss topics that are relevant to that particular work plan.
Yes, Chairman, I thank you for that. Well,
Okay. All right, let's move on. Work plan item 8, explore grant funding opportunities based on community needs and survey results. Any updates? Not today. Work plan item 9, gain knowledge on available community resources and services for adults 50+ and disseminate information to 50+ adults. Any updates?
This is Commissioner Hanwett. I just want to give you a quick update on Village Encinitas. We had a well-attended meeting about last Monday. We had about 37 people come to hear an EMT talk about the importance of calling 911 should there be an emergency, and when you should call and when you shouldn't. And he made a lot of great suggestions about safety within your home. And he had a slide recommending to everybody that they have a Vial of Life on their refrigerator. So there was like we've had the Vial of Life available at High Country Villas, but there was quite a run on them after that meeting because he really emphasized how important that was. And we're in the process of signing up members, getting background checks done. Next step will be a volunteer orientation, so things are moving along.
Very good. Any other updates? No? That brings us to work plan item 10, and I'm glad our oral communications speaker is still here. Work plan item 10 is research best practices as it relates to adult 50+ issues, send letters of support to city council and commissions, and follow up as needed. Now, last month, I didn't forget, Commissioner Gaber had mentioned that we needed something to address seniors and e-bikes, but not the e-bike riders so much as seniors as drivers in the community and their awareness of e-bikes. Did I capture that correctly?
thank you, Commissioner Chairman. Yes, sir.
So my take on this, and this is why it's in work plan item 10, is that we can create a letter of encouragement, which we've done in the past. There are two commissions that this probably applies to. One is the Mobility and Traffic Safety Commission, and the other one, which in the meeting I just sat in yesterday, is the Public Health and Safety Commission. And they actually work with the fire department and the sheriff's department, and one of the topics that has come up during that meeting is e-bike safety. So the context of this is, I think, that we want to provide some sort of, maybe it's training, maybe it's some sort of awareness to educate seniors and really adults in general on how to be more defensive and aware of e-bike riders on the road. And because I think most of the training is focused on teens and high school students, that kind of thing. But I've been in that situation personally, where I've been driving straight ahead, I turn my left turn signal, I complete my left turn, and somebody who's driving on the wrong side of the road hits my car. That's happened to me personally. The e-bike rider was in the wrong, I was in the right, but we would like to prevent those kind of things from happening, period. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Does that sound like where you want to go with this, Commissioner?
Absolutely. With one question, because I know I've been in the county stuff for a while in different organizations working a different way. We have the ability to write a board letter to Board of Supervisors.
I don't think we do.
Huh?
I don't think we do.
No problem.
So that's why I'm putting this constraint where we work with our commissions. We can always copy city council if we want.
That's all we need.
As
Thank
part of
you.
that. Okay. So I'm gonna. Commissioner
Copeland, that was my intention of having Christine here. I basically think she's got the program. And can we actually support that program?
So let's start with our letter of encouragement, and then we can follow up and see what comes out of that.
My comment is, for me, that seems like that would be the first place to go, is a letter of encouragement, then go to traffic and mobility, and then go to health and safety, because I think she has already got it.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
This is Commissioner Angel. If I might also comment that I'm also a member of the Bike Walk Committee here in Encinitas, and I'm very mindful of all of the advocacy that is happening within this committee, and I also want to commend Christine, who I've known for many years, because I think the types of programming that Christine and the rest of the Bike Walk Committee promote is doing what we're saying, is helping to educate the community, helping to provide greater insight to seniors so that we can hopefully prevent, there's no absolute, of course, but we can prevent by heightening the educational levels, by heightening insight, and providing these types of educational opportunities for members of our community. So I also want to applaud Christine and want to advocate for greater education, outreach, and for people within the community that have the opportunity to take these classes. It's right here, it's free. We just need to get the word into people's ears. I can't imagine there would be any more type of advertising that hasn't already been done on this. So thank you.
Point of order. We are limited to what we can do by our work plan, which we've approved this year. So this is the mechanism in which I think we can address Commissioner Gaber's request and fit that into our work plan, which is in work plan item 10. So I'm going to draft something. Our ad hoc group will review it, and then next commission meeting, which is a couple months from now, we will vote to approve it.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Gaber, is it possible that either I participate in, I'm volunteering, and as a veteran, I'm taught not to participate either in person or do a literature search on best practices. And I would be more than happy just to do the staff work and give it to you.
So I've already done some of the work.
I
I've done
imagine.
some of the research. I know what's there. I know what the various commissions are looking at. So I'm going to, I want to keep it to our ad hoc group. I will draft the letter, and we'll give everybody a chance to review it in our next meeting. Okay. All right. That brings us to agenda item 11, our favorite. Create Senior Citizen Commission bylaws. And I'm going to look at Manager Hamer and ask if there are any updates.
Yes, Manager Hamer here. There is an update. We will be hosting a workshop with the Arts and Parks and Recreation Commissioners to work together to collaborate and come up with some bylaws and ideas so that within the department we're consistent from commission to commission. That is scheduled on Thursday, August 8th, approximately 5 to 7 p.m. We are still finalizing if it'll be at the library or the community center, so we will give you a email to confirm when that will happen, but please save the date for Thursday, August 8th, 5 to 7 p.m. It is not required for everybody to be in attendance. It's not like a commission meeting, it's a workshop, so if you're out of town or something like that, we'll work around that, because whatever is created in the workshop will then come back to your commission meeting for voting and finalizing.
Okay, thank you. So all commissioners are invited to this workshop.
The workshop will include Arts, Parks and Recreation, and Senior Citizens Commission, all three, and it will be overseen by our director, Dave Knopp. He'll be running it and overseeing it to try to find, shared ideas and collaboration so the departments, all the commissions are aligned with the similar bylaws.
Thank you, Manager Hamer.
This is,
Sorry,
This
this
is
is Commissioner
Commissioner-
Stern. I was just asking, will we be able to put input in at this?
The workshop is
Yes.
designed for commissioners to provide input.
Okay.
So yes, it'll be an open forum for people to speak and give input, led by Director Knopp.
Great, thank you.
this is Commissioner Angel. I'm just wondering if a reminder email will be going out for individuals prior to the event?
Yes, Manager Goodsell will probably be the one who will send out that email, and especially since we don't know the location, it's either the library or the center, so the details will follow and you'll receive a reminder.
Okay, but save the spot. Okay, that brings us to agenda item 9, informational items. Manager Eustace, you have an operations report for us?
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, Commissioners. It's nice to be here while Christy Goodsill is out. For the month of May, the Senior Center provided 547 meals to seniors over the age of 60, and we provided 226 one-way rides to and from our lunch program. There was a total of 592 non-nutrition participants registered for programs in May. These programs include our walking club, our stamp club, knitting, current events, and our monthly dances, as well as many of our exercise classes and our computer lab. In addition to our normally scheduled events during our senior lunch, we have some really new and exciting planned activities starting in July. They're going to include things like What's the Buzz? And that is going to be a short overview of what's happening at the Community and Senior Center outside the lunch program. For those of you who have been to our lunch program, you know that a lot of our seniors just come to lunch and then they leave. And so what we want to do is share all of the other wonderful things that we do at the center for them. So this is just going to be a really quick recap of what's going on at the center. That's going to happen once a month. And we're hoping for some help from you all. The second activity, yes, I'm looking at you. The second activity that we're going to incorporate on a monthly basis is bingo and stretch. And this is a quick after lunch activity that we tried out a few months ago, and it was wildly popular, and people have been asking for it. So this just is a very quick activity after lunch that includes one game of bingo and simple stretches that people can do while sitting. And it's just really to encourage our older and vulnerable community to move while they can. And so we'll be incorporating that once a month. And the third thing is art before lunch. This is a very simple art activity that participants can choose to do before having lunch at the senior center. Some of the art activities planned include mindful coloring, rock painting, and other simple crafts for the holiday season. All of these are stress relievers. They promote engagement and a sense of community, and that's really what we're here to do. Our goal for these activities, well, I think I just said that, is really to promote engagement and the opportunity to make new connections. For many of our seniors, their time spent at lunch is the only contact that they may have for the day, and we really want to make an impact on that. So, with that being said, besides these new activities, we have our normally scheduled events, such as our 4th of July luncheon, which is going to be on Wednesday, July 3rd, our birthday celebration on Friday, July 5th, and our regularly scheduled bingo on Tuesday, July 16th. All of these activities, events, will be listed on our monthly Oakcrest Cafe menu. So, last but not least, I've saved the best for last. If you haven't heard, we are hosting a fabulous new dance program called Mingle and Move. And our first event is this Friday, June 21st, from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Senior Center. I see a flyer up there. And our theme is Hawaiian Luau. We are going to have professional Polynesian dancers who are going to be offering hula lessons during the first hour. And afterwards, there will be island music, refreshments, and plenty of opportunity to socialize and make new friends. We encourage you all to come. And as commissioners, we would love to see you there. Perhaps maybe be a greeter, mingle and get people to socialize and get out there. This program is held every third Friday of each month with different themes from 2 p.m. in the banquet hall, and the cost is $7 for residents and $10 for non-residents, along with a processing fee. So really, that's the update for the Senior Center. Some other things that are going on are we do have some new programs that we're collaborating with the county on. We have a fall prevention course coming up in the fall, and a living with chronic conditions series that will be going on in the fall. And so since I'm fairly new here, this is the first time we're going to be offering these courses, so I'm very excited. I hope that we can promote this and get people to these programs. There are a minimum before the county will come out and do these. So I just ask for your help in spreading the word on these very beneficial programs. And one last thing is that I just want to mention that when you're out around town, please let people know that our facility is a rental facility, that we have many beautiful rooms available for rent at a very reasonable cost compared to other facilities. If you need information on that, we have a new facilities coordinator. Her name is Carolina Chavez. She's wonderful. You can always call her, give her name out, and share that we have space available for quinceañeras, weddings, workshops, whatever. We are here for you. So that is about it that I have for the Senior Center and Community Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Eustace. You picked a good day to be here.
Oh,
you got a lot of stuff. So, Manager Hamer, you have some departmental updates for us.
Yes, Manager Hamer here. Yes, this Friday, the Aloha Dance Party. If you can't attend, please spread the word or forward that email to some of your connections. It's a program we're trying to grow because it used to be just couples dancing only. And in the survey you had actually done last year, that was one of the notes of like, I really would like to go, but I'm on my own. So this is kind of the move and mingle. It's open to everybody and there's no pressure. That's why we have a little lesson and a little mingling. So again, please spread the word to your villages and all the different groups that you connect with. And we will both be there, so we'll know if we see you there or not. Also, coming up on Saturday, June 29th is Art Night. That's a Saturday evening of visual art at Encinitas Public Spaces, and that includes the Community Center and Senior Center, Library, and City Hall. It's 5:30 to 8:30. They provide shuttle services from site to site, and it really is a spectacular evening of celebrating the arts. So we hope you can join us. On Saturday, June 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the city is partnering with the Sustainable Solutions Fair that's located at EUSD Farm Lab, and that's another opportunity to learn more about the environment and some sustainable options, and also some do-it-yourself projects, and we encourage the community to attend. On Wednesday, June 26th, please mark your calendars, 6 p.m., and this will be another email follow-up. But the City Council will be doing a proclamation for July as Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Month. And that will be with the mayor, and our department will be there to represent. We invite all commissioners to join us. July is an important month of our profession because that's when everybody is out of school for summer camps. It's when our weather is at its best, so people are out in the parks, out on the beaches, and this is the prime time for our profession. And this month is really an opportunity to put a spotlight on all that we do and offer to make sure that everyone belongs in our community. The theme for the National Parks and Recreation Association is Where You Belong. So we have on top of this proclamation we'll do with the mayor, throughout the month of July, we'll be doing social media posts and stories and weekly posts. And if you're interested in helping us with any of our social media, we are open to that, and we definitely want to showcase probably our Aloha Dance Party, our lunch program. There's a lot of days in July for us to spotlight all the great things that we do, spread the word, and make sure everybody's aware of what we have going on. So that will be Wednesday, June 26th. In July, Cardiff Dog Days of Summer is Saturday, July 21st. That is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All these different activities are up and on our Volgistics site. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can register and volunteer right off the Volgistics site. Plus, we'll email you. And also rolling out in July is the Moonlight Beach concerts. They start, they're approximately 1 to 5, July 14th and 28th, August 11th and 25th. So those are the awesome summer activities. And as I have already shared with you, the bylaws workshop Thursday, August 6th, 5 to 7 p.m. And another thing I just wanted to share with you, because we are ending our fiscal year. The fiscal year ends in June, and we start a new fiscal year in July. And overlooking some of the statistics on participation and registration, we increased 20% in number of adults 50-plus participants. And I know that's been really important to this commission, especially after, really coming out of COVID. So we are growing and adding more new things, as you heard from Supervisor Eustace, and really excited about our new fiscal year coming up starting in July. So let's do some more. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Manager Hamer. That brings us to Agenda Item 10, Commission Member-Initiated Agenda Items. Do we have any?
There are none.
Agenda Item 11, Future Agenda Items added by Commission members. Commissioners, do we have any new items you would like to add for our next meeting? No? Okay. That brings us to Agenda Item 12, Commission Reports, the roundtable for all the commissioners. I would like to ask all commissioners if they have any announcements or reports to add, and we'll start from the far end of the dais with Commissioner Stern and work our way towards me.
Not at this moment. I'm sorry, Commissioner Stern, not at this moment.
Commissioner Koblenz, I really want to reiterate the dance, and what I'm so excited about is we went outside, and I think Commissioner Hamer talked to the grocery outlet people. So this is exactly what makes my little heart sing. So we're going out, getting more. I happen to know, I go to this store every day because I love it. So I got this, and I went and I said, I'm so excited. This is exactly what I think we're talking about. That's what Amy talked about too, is whenever we're out there, let's talk about, you need to go to the mixer tonight and pass this out. Encinitas chamber mixer. And please, so that's okay to say, right? Because that's still, again, the more we get out there, the more people we bring in, the healthier we make them and the healthier that we are. And I think that's the only thing that I'd like to share. Thank you.
Can I say something very quickly? Manager Hamer here. I wanted to say thank you for noting that we do have a sponsor for this event. So like if you go there regularly, you can thank them for sponsoring the event, and the credit does go to our special events and projects supervisor, Nicole White. She's done a really great job, and we're really excited about the potential for growth. Thank you.
A future agenda item, but way in the future, when we do the work plan next year. One of the reasons it's an honor for me to serve here and a motivation to serve here is I'd like to increase programmatic information between the county and the city. For example, I think it's in August sometime, there's going to be a big, I call it a big deal, a celebration related to recovery. Substance abuse, alcohol, that stuff, and it's a nice fair and stuff. But one of the things I'd like to add to the work plan next year is a formal way for us to get that information exchanged. Thank you.
Commissioner Angel, again, I'd like to share a heartfelt thanks to Christine Schindler, who tirelessly continues to advocate on behalf of cyclists and pedestrians in this city to help make Encinitas a better city for everyone who transports themselves. Second, my favorite event of the entire year is coming up next month, and that is Dog Days. I want to encourage everyone to come out. I, again, have the distinct honor to be one of the judges of all the doggy contests. So thank you so much.
This is Commissioner Hanwett, and I don't have anything to add at this time.
Okay. Commissioner Ling. Last meeting, the chair of the Public Health and Safety Commission came by to check us out, and I thought I would return the favor. So I was there yesterday. I did address the commission as a private citizen with the oral communications and gave them a little bit of advice as a new commission. But they're trying to figure out what they want to do, and it's very interesting. I think about it and say, I can't imagine what the Senior Citizen Commission was like when it first got started. So, but that must be what it is. So that was a good experience. Any other remarks, comments? All right. With that, the June 18th, 2024 Senior Citizen Commission meeting is hereby adjourned at 3:05 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
All right, now I can talk to you.